once upon a time,
I wish
in a far-off kingdom,
more than any,
lived a young maiden,
more than
a
life,
sad young lad,
more than two
and
wolves.
a childless baker.
Into the woods without delay, but careful not to lose the way. Into the woods, who knows what may be lurking on the journey. Into the woods to get the thing that makes it worth the journey. Into the woods to see the key.
So opening this weekend at the Hopewell Theatre is Into the Woods, which is our fall musical here.
Into the woods, into the woods, into the woods and out of the woods. And home before dark.
So Into the Woods tells the story of the baker and his wife who had a curse placed upon them, which unfortunately means that they can no longer have children. And the person who placed that curse is the witch.
Beans! Beans! The special beans! I let him go. I didn't know he stole my beans. I was watching him crawl back over the wall. Bang! Crash! The lightning flash! Oh, well, that's another story. Never mind. Anyway.
I'm playing the baker.
I play the baker's wife.
I am the witch.
And she sends them on a journey into the woods in Act 1 to undo this spell.
Go to the woods!
And then the consequences of their actions come back to haunt them in Act 2.
And the lesson learned at the end is what you think you may want is not necessarily what you need.
You're going to expect a happy ending, which in the end it does become a happy ending, but you have to kind of go through all the troubles and tribulations before you get there, which is the very interesting ride.
Into the woods, into the woods, into the woods and out of the woods and home before.
There are giants in the sky. There are big, tall, terrible giants in the sky. When you wake up, behind you, look below, towards your left, and the things you know, little more than a glance is enough to show you just how small you are.
And it's kind of a big hodgepodge of all the fairy tale characters you've ever met.
Little Red Riding Hood, Rapunzel, Cinderella.
And they weave their way in and out of the baker and his wife's tale.
Hello, little girl, what's your rush? You're missing all the flowers. The sun won't set for hours. Take your time.
Straight ahead, not to delay or be misled.
Into the Woods is obviously a Broadway musical that premiered back in sometime in the 80s, but it's a Stephen Sondheim show. He's also responsible for writing Sweeney Todd and a plethora of other shows.
We have learned Sondheim in 6 weeks, which is very intimidating and can be very overwhelming. So the space being as intimate as it is has allowed us to come together as a cast and accomplish that task in such a short amount of time and build the relationships so we have that great bond on stage.
I think anything Sondheim related does really well with scaling either up or down. All of his shows are honestly at their best in a more intimate space. So I think that it really brings the energy and the action and the meaning and the message of the story closer to the audience in this small space. And I think that we were able to pretty accurately recreate the feeling of the woods in here. And I think that the audience will really like that.
Goodbye, Mr. Wolf.
Goodbye, little girl. And hello.
We have a fantastic cast for the show, and I know I always say it, but they are honestly so well suited to their roles. We have almost our entire cast from Greece came back to redo this show. We only have one or two new folks here with us, and it's just the best of the best, and you can't ask for anything more.
What are you doing? I'm here to make amends. I want you to stay out of this, old man. I'm here to see your wishes granted. Ooh, you've caused enough trouble. Stay out of my path.
This cast, although small, is insanely talented. The level of singing and acting talent you'll see on this stage is unbelievable.
Sondheim is one of the greatest composers of our time, and I think doing it in 6 weeks is a monumental task, and somehow, miraculously, everybody came together really well and pulled it off. It's really remarkable the talent we have on stage. The actors, the singers, the costuming, the set, everything is beautiful.
We have lots of awesome tech, pyro, fog, cool lights. The music itself is, it's Sondheim. It's very hard. So us just getting that accomplished in 6 weeks, that's the biggest accomplishment.
Maggie!
the Woods is like the hottest ticket on Broadway right now. They had a revival that opened back in June that's been extending and extending and extending and extending because people just can't get enough of it. It's not very often that theaters are able to produce shows that are on Broadway simultaneously. Why go to New York when you could come here and see it here? And I think that it's also just a really timely show. This show deals a lot with how we process trauma and grief, and after the last 2.5 years that we've had collectively as a society, there's a lot of parallels that you can draw. And we're taught from a young age that fairy tales are the best way to, kind of teach us how to navigate through life. So it's kind of a fairy tale for adults in the 21st century in a way.
Agony that can cut like a knife. I must have her to
The tickets are available at millennialtheatre.org. They are $20 a piece. Performances are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, which is September 30th, October 1st and 2nd. Following weekend, October 7, 8, 9. Performances are at 7:30 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, 2 o'clock on Sunday.
Beyond woods, beyond wishes and slippers and hoods, just the two of us beyond.
If you want to see a huge amount of talent, please come see this show. The cast that we have is spectacular.
All kinds of fun things to expect. So special effects, great music, great actors, a lot of fun.
Come see us. Go into the woods.
717 Credit Union. Business services designed to meet your daily needs. Commercial loans, business deposits, merchant and payroll services. 717 Credit Union. It's knowing you were treated right every time.